What's going on? What's going on, team? Welcome back to another weekly stock talk. This week, another opportunity. So let's jump into it. My name is Xander with Phaser Trading Academy. Um, Today, we're going to be reviewing the first two things. What we usually do is we'll look at SPY, which is the S&P 500. And then we'll also take a look at NASDAQ, which is /NQ. And then we've got about 10 stocks for you guys to check out. We've had a little bit of a pullback happening in the market, and we've also had a lot of earnings coming out. So we did see quite a bit of these stocks pull back and present great opportunities for us to potentially jump into. If we see value in them, jump into them and make sure that we capitalize as they make a move to the upside. So let's jump right into it. We do this every single week. So if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. That way you guys are the first to know. And make sure to smash that thumbs up button if you guys find value in any of this. First things first, taking a look at SPY. Still same thing that we've been kind of seeing for the last months, as we've been just trading in this channel here since November. We've been trading in this ascending triangle or ascending channel. We ended up bouncing off this top resistance level here. And we've been slowly kind of just trending around this top resistance level. Today, however, we did see a nice push to the downside. Not surprising there. It's a matter of time, I would say, before this thing kind of gives back a little bit, corrects a little bit, before moving on if it continues to keep uptrending. So nothing surprising there. We kind of were expecting that. Basically, we've been watching that since I would say last week and a half. We've been kind of a little more on the cautious side just because we have been trending right at that resistance level. So that's what's going on with the S&P 500. The NASDAQ, let's take a look at that, /NQ. Same situation. The overall market's just been selling off, so it's not a surprise that we saw a pullback in /NQ. Also, same situation here. We saw a nice similar pullback happening here today, just like we saw in the S&P 500. So market's pulling back, nothing too surprising. What is surprising and what is exciting is the fact that this means we have opportunity. So let's jump into our first opportunity, which is Pinterest. It's going to be PINS. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. So we had earnings coming out or come out on the 27th of March or April, my bad. 27th of April. And so ever since the earnings, we've been pulling back. We are very oversold. We were oversold back here, and then we made a nice push up to the upside right before earnings, and then earnings came out and boom, we sold off. Like I say, don't try to trade into the earnings. See what happens. See what happens on earnings, and then react to that. A lot of people try to predict the market, even though they're running all these numbers. They're looking at all the fundamentals, but bottom line is the charts are going to say what they're going to say. The price action is going to do what it's going to do. So wouldn't you rather see what's going on, see what's happening, and then react to it and make money as it's coming down or as it's starting to recover, rather than hoping that it's going to do something and then you're wrong, right? So that's pretty much kind of the process with that is wait for earnings and then make a move. So this one has been selling off. We are excited about this. We are approaching this -2 standard deviation line. Combine that along with the fact that we're very, very oversold. And we are starting to see a potential reversal here on the MACD. I would stay a little bit more patient. What we're going to be watching is this level right here. It's going to be the 65.89 level. That's going to be where the EMA is. So once we break that EMA to the upside, that's going to be our signal for an entry. You could, potentially start slowly averaging in, maybe a few shares here and there. And then once you get the confirmation, jump in. This has been long-term trending to the upside. So overall, the trend is a very positive trend that we're looking at. So it's just a matter of time, I would say, before this thing turns around. We've been trending for the most part above this SMA line. So this break below, not the first time we saw a break below, we saw this before, and then we ended up recovering very, very well, pretty much back to, the same levels we were at. So this pullback here is nothing surprising. It's pretty much, just a trend, another correction in the market. So let's create some of these support resistance levels. We have a support level right here that we ended up bouncing on as well back in end of January. So we're approaching that same support level. Found support back in March. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we end up finding support here once again and then bouncing and recovering. So this is going to be our first one, Pinterest. The second one we're going to look at is PTON, PTON. This one has been doing very, very well throughout like the last few months. Basically since September, this has been doing very, very well. And then around February, we started pulling back. We do have earnings coming up on this one on the 6th. So as much as I'm saying that I'm watching this one, we are watching this one, but we're not jumping into this one, not even sizing in, nothing. We're waiting for earnings to come out to get, see where the price action begins to take us. And then we're going to ride it out on that wave. So, eyes on this one. We've got earnings on the 6th. So remember that, pay attention to this one. Once again, same situation, you break the EMA and that's going to be our entry point. So that is the 97.84 level. So watching this one, stay patient with this one up until the 6th. However, the opportunity is definitely there. We're pretty much at a support right now. So let's go ahead and create that support. We're sitting at support right here. That has been our support back in November. It was our support here March and April, end of March, beginning of April, also support. And then we ended up coming down to the same level right now. We are on the oversold territory. We are starting to look like we're going to reverse here, but we have earnings. So stay patient with that. Don't jump in too early, right? But this one's definitely on watch, and we've got a profit potential here we're looking at from here to recent highs, not even previous highs, but recent highs. We're looking at about 22%. All-time highs, if this comes back to 170, we're looking at about 43%. So crazy, crazy profit potential. Since we are at support, this is a very, very attractive opportunity. The next one we're going to be looking at is Netflix, NFLX. This one here, very, very standard basic pattern. We've been just trading within this channel here. Nothing too crazy. It's more of a horizontal play and pattern that we've been seeing. Come up to this resistance line, come down back to the support line, resistance line, got rejected, came down support line, found support. Didn't quite make it to the resistance until later on we saw a little bit of a pullback. Came up to that resistance, broke it, but that was a fake out. We ended up pulling right back down. And then we came back to the support level, came back up to this resistance level, dropped on earnings. So last earnings, we ended up pumping. This earnings, we ended up dropping. But if you guys are following the pattern, we're just pretty much trending within this channel. So here, I would say we were very, very close to the support level, in my opinion. We have about a risk of, looking at a risk about 2.3%. That's not bad at all, considering that your profit potential is 10%, right? So if you're doing a 1-to-5 ratio, that would be a great setup, So you're risking 2.5% for 10% profit potential. So that's a great setup. If you want to stay a little bit more patient, you can. However, this one I would say is a good deal to jump into. Not financial advice, but it's at a good level to consider potentially jumping into. So that's the next one we're looking at. The one afterwards, we're going to be taking a look at SWKS, Skyworks. This one, earnings, same situation. A lot of these are going to be pulling back because of earnings. So this is why we got these opportunities presenting. Similar with, the trend we saw previously, we've been trending on this SMA green line this entire time. We ended up pulling back right just under it. However, we don't often stay below the SMA for too long. So all in all, we're looking at a very oversold RSI. We're starting to see a change of color on the MACD. So what I'm going to be looking for is any signs of first signs of the uptrend. And we got a profit potential here of about 13%. So let's check the support and resistance levels. So if we just establish this right here, it looks like we are sitting at a nice support level or approaching a support level. And then with this resistance level, I would say we have quite a bit of potential here, even if we go above 205. So the level I'd be watching down here is 172. That would be probably a stop level. We're looking at about 1.7% risk with a profit potential of about 13%. So great risk reward ratio there. One to consider, add it to your watch list for sure. The next one's going to be DXCM. This one here, same situation, earnings pulled back. The last earnings we had, not the last one, but the one right before it, same situation, pulled back, and then we ended up recovering. And then over a longer period of time, we recovered back to pretty much the previous highs that we were at. So here, earnings, I'm watching this one, oversold on the RSI. MACD is starting to change color. So let's see if we find some support on this SMA level here. That's the level I'll be watching right now. But let's check the support resistance levels here real quick. So we got a support there. We have a support here as well that we ended up bouncing on. Let's check this right here. We have another resistance. This is more so of an area, and this is actually the same area here. We got rejected here. We got rejected here. So now since we got rejected, it broke that. Now we're starting to see support. Now whatever resistance was becomes support. So SMA line, and we have a support level. So, and we're oversold, and we're starting to see a change of color on the MACD. So there's quite a bit telling us that we have a potential reversal in play here. I'd stay a little patient with this one. See, once again, first signs of an uptrend. Let's see if it holds the SMA, but this is definitely a good opportunity. If anything, you can manage your risk at about 2% and with a profit potential of about 10%. So also, 1 to 5 ratio on your risk management, that would be a good risk to reward ratio right there. The next one we're going to be taking a look at is going to be MGM. This one, very, very consistent, very consistent uptrend basically since September here. We've just been treading along to the upside, to the upside, to the upside. So we saw this nice pullback here on earnings, came down to this SMA line here, came down to the SMA line, ended up breaking through EMA today on Monday. So, I expect this to at least return to, 43 level. We're looking at about 4%, 4 or 5% profit potential. And then you manage your risk at this SMA level at 3%. Not the greatest, but this is very, very consistent. It has been very, very consistent for a very, very long time. We've just been trending to the upside, trending to the upside, trending to the upside. So this one is definitely one to add to your watch list. And if you see value in MGM, definitely one to consider. The next one is going to be Twitter. This one has a huge pullback. I believe we had some continuation going on today. We are starting to see a reversal here on the RSI, and the MACD is starting to curl. So this is starting to look very, very good. The setup's starting to look very, very good. So I would say, with this, we pretty much came down to this previous resistance level that we came down to here. We did break out right below it, but we did see huge volume, very unusual volume here. However, like I said, RSI, very oversold. MACD starting to curl. And today, after hours, I believe we started seeing, second half of the day, we started seeing green. So that's the first green of the day. Let's see if we break. The level we're going to be watching is $57. If we break 57.16, that's going to be, indication of confirmation to the upside. That's what we're going to be watching. So if we break that level, we've got profit potential. Even from the EMA, we have a profit potential of about 16%. Manage your risk there, with a 2 to 5 or 1 to 5 ratio or 1 to 3 ratio, whatever you're comfortable with. But this definitely has, huge potential. Twitter is not going anywhere, guys. So let's be honest. We have overall been seeing more or less, an uptrend over the longer period. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing reversed and, started heading up to the upside. And if we're following just this trend here that we've been holding long term, it looks like we are basically at that support level. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a reversal on this happen. Huge pullback, definitely a great opportunity. Like I said, from current price points, you're looking at about 22 profit potential just to recent highs where it was. If we're looking at 81 all-time highs, that's 32% profit potential. So huge opportunity there, guys. The next one we're looking at is eBay. This one was a good play. I mentioned this one to the team Sunday night. So we ended up bouncing at this level, caught this nice move up to the upside. Similar situation, right? We had a nice pullback happen right on earnings, and now we're starting to see a recovery. So even from current price points to, let's say, recent highs, we're looking at about 10% still. And, if it comes down to where it was, we're only looking at about 3.74%. So 12% to 4%. You can manage your risk at 1 to 3 here or 1 to 5. Either way, opportunities, it's great. Broke EMA, seeing confirmation. We're not very overbought here either, so you do have plenty of room to run. If we break this SMA line here at 59.84, that's just going to be more confirmation that this is reversing to the upside. Let's see, MACD's looking good too. So that's the other one, and the last one is going to be NEO. So for this one, I actually want to take a look at Tesla, see how this one's been doing. Obviously, Tesla is going to be following the overall market. So market was selling off today. We saw some selling off going on in Tesla. I'm not surprised there because Tesla followed along with S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So not surprised there, but this one's going to go fairly well hand in hand with, Tesla as well. But the reason we're looking at NIO instead of Tesla is, first of all, it's a 39.50 for a share, not, in the 600, 700, 800s. And second of all, we're looking at we've been sitting at this support level for a very, very long time. And this has been doing very, very well. Another thing, fundamentally, we're looking at, NEO delivers more than double in April. However, the growth is a little bit slower in this compared to like Tesla. But, we have been sitting at this support for some time. The level I'd be watching right now with this one would be this 33.50 level and the level that it's sitting at right now, which is 39.6. So even if you're, having that risk of that would be a significant risk to pull, which is 16%, but your profit potential, you're looking at about 37% profit potential. And NEO is, doing fairly well for the company that it is. So I wouldn't be, this might not happen tomorrow, but it's definitely one to definitely consider for sure. So check those out and add those to your watch list. And I'll see you guys on next week's video. Have a great one, guys.